Hello, everyone. Jason Hagholm here, and I am joined by Dustin Joynson, one of the members of the heavyweight division of One Championship. Dustin will make his return to One Championship on February 11th against Hugo Cunha. Dustin, how are you doing?
Good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing quite well. I mean, Dustin, the last time we spoke was just before you signed with One Championship, and it's been kind of a
Okay.
worldwide experience for you with there, obviously having a fight get canceled after flying all the way out to Singapore and then finally getting to make that One Championship debut. I mean, just how's that whole time been for you and trying to getting used to, competing for one and going, getting over some
Yeah.
fights getting canceled?
Um, it's definitely different. It's not easy fighting overseas and with the time changes, and especially all the restrictions that come with going to Singapore. And like you said, I first went to Singapore. My fight got canceled because I got COVID, and they put me in a 26-day holding facility, which was a nightmare. Um, Finally got out of there, and then I fought finally for them in October. I was kind of having a bit of PTSD, just being stuck inside the hotel, like you're not allowed to leave or nothing. And now I get to go back again. It's like three times within a year's span. So, kind of not looking forward to that whole deal, but I'm hoping that maybe when we're there this time around, the restrictions will have loosened up and I can actually go aside, but who knows?
But if they haven't, like, have you got any tips or prepped a little bit more to kind of not have so much PTSD stuck in those hotels there?
I yeah, for this fight, I actually bought a Nintendo Switch Lite for
Okay.
my time in the hotel because I need something to do. I think it just last time, they still give you when you're at the hotel, there's access to the pool, there's gyms, whatever, but you're only allowed to use it for 1 hour a day, each thing. So it's not a lot. So it was just a lot of Netflix and just laying around really.
Well, what games are
Get
you bringing
cramped
with
up.
you?
I only have one so far. I have the Breath of the Wild from Zelda, and I haven't even started it yet. I'm just waiting for that flight, I guess.
Yeah, you know what? That's probably a good call. Wait for that long venture out to
Hmm.
Singapore to go out there and play that game. But obviously, as you said, you made your debut for one finally towards the end of October against Kirill Grishenko. Obviously things didn't go your way, but how would you rate your performance, Dustin? Because I thought you kind of found your form late in that third round.
Yeah, I was pretty nervous going into that fight because I knew he had a big wrestling background, right? So it's always hard to find yourself, especially for me. I kind of get going late in my fights, which is something I need to try and work on. Well, I mean, I've been trying, but how do you really work on it except for fight more?
Right.
Um, so I mean, after the first round, when the round was over and I was spend my round on my back and whatever, I remember just getting up and being like, wow, that was embarrassing. Everyone just saw that. Everyone back home is watching that right now. And then I don't know, something just kind of clicked and I just stopped caring and just tried to take it to him. I was like, I know going into third, like my corner at the time, he was like, you need to knock him out. I'm like, I know. I know. I mean, like, but the rules are different in one. So even though he won the first two rounds, they might not look at it like he's winning the fight because
Right.
the third round I damaged him more. His eye was completely closed and he was running away from me. So and he was visibly looking pretty gassed, and I was still full of energy trying to come at him. Last 30 seconds, he pinned me on the cage, and that was pretty much the fight. So whatever. I was happy with myself being able to come back the way I did in the third and showing like that my cardio is pretty strong. So
Well, good to you got to showcase your cardio, especially, as you said, having a battle of COVID and just that time off. Because I'm someone that buys into ring rust. I don't know. Are you someone that was a factor of like thinking ring rust a thing because you hadn't fought in a while and had all those complications, and
Who
as I
knows? It's
said,
hard
found
to
your form.
say because my last few fights have always been like a year apart.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like fought for Battlefield, and then it was, I think it was like a year after that I fought for
CFFC Contender Series CFFC, yeah.
And then I went, and then it was like a year after that I fought for CFFC, and then it was like a year after that I finally made my debut for one. So this will be like the quickest turnaround in a while. And I'm kind of looking forward to that.
Yeah, you know what? Staying active is huge, especially in that heavyweight division where the champion right now looks like he may be gone in Arjun Bowler with him having contract disputes. I guess that's obviously the goal, right? To become a heavyweight champion. And that starts with you on February 11th here against your opponent here in Hugo Cunha.
That's crazy to think because Kirill's now fighting for the interim title. Could have been me. If I would have had one more round, I would have beaten him. And like, I know I would have beaten him in that fight because, he was fading pretty hard. But, so if that was the title fight, if that was the interim title fight, that fight would have been mine. But I can't really dwell on that. What you're going to do? Kind of just have to look forward. And it's kind of nice to know that I was that close, I guess. I'm really hoping that Kirill does win and Arjun doesn't want to, fight for the belt anymore. And that way, maybe I win this one, Kirill wins that one. They kind of have us rematch. Maybe with being a 5-round fight, there's a good chance I'll gas him out hard in the beginning. And then I could see myself easily beating him that one.
Dustin, what have you really worked on? As you said, this is a shorter turnaround than obviously, having to wait a year on. What areas have you worked on, since coming back home and getting settled back and then preparing to go out back to Singapore?
Well, mostly grappling. Grappling's always been a big one. But a lot of it's been strength building. I'm kind of a smaller heavyweight compared to most of the guys I fought. Most of them usually weigh 20 pounds more than me. I think I weighed in at 237 in the last one, and Kirill weighed 257. So, I've always been kind of the lighter guy. And even at CFFC, that guy was 265. Contender Series, the guy was 265. Bigfoot, whatever, Machado, I think he was 255. Like I'm always the smaller guy. And that's fine. I don't mind that because like I know my cardio is pretty good. I'm trying to build a little bit more strength to be able to back it up so they can't just push me around as much.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen the trend of that though with heavyweights. No one's really trying to bulk up so much anymore because their cardio doesn't last. And obviously you have the cardio, Dustin. And I think being the lighter heavyweight is one thing, but as you said, trying to add some muscle mass may be a nice little addition to your game plan. As you said, you are fighting at heavyweight where there's big dudes in that division.
Well, everyone's scary in the first round, right? You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Well, obviously, as we said, you're fighting Hugo Cunha. Do you know anything about Hugo? Like Dustin, I can't remember if we talked about this. Like, are you a guy that likes to study tape or anything like that?
I watched a bit of it, but not really. He does look pretty well rounded, but he mostly looks like a stand-up fighter, and I'm happy with that. I've watched a few of his fights. My team's watched a few of his fights. They kind of just tell me things to look out for. So I feel like it's a pretty good matchup for me.
Well, obviously, other than the long travel over to Singapore, what's it like being a part of the One Championship roster, Dustin? Because obviously, you want to be a part of a major organization. One does have a lot of eyeballs, especially over in Asia. Not so many here in Canada, but everyone can see your fights for free on YouTube, so that's a bonus. But what's it like to be a member of the One Championship heavyweight division?
I mean, they have a really nice production value, like doing weigh-ins and everything. All of it seems like super high quality, all that kind of stuff. The only thing I wish they'd do a little bit better was promote some of their fighters. Like when they promote me, they never tag me in anything. So it's kind of hard to get followers from that if people don't know where to look for me. You know what I mean? So I just kind of wish they'd tag people in and their photos of it. But, you know, fighting for them in my last one, it did get me my blue verification check mark.
Hey, there we go.
There you go.
So is that on Instagram, Dustin?
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember fighting. I fought and came back to my hotel. My corner was like, dude, you're on. Your blue check mark came in, and he was all happy, and we're happy. We're like, oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the things that kind of make us happy and surprised in the world of social media. But hey, you know what? It's great to see that you are now a verified fighter on the realm of Instagram. So that's a great thing to see in the growth of your career, Dustin, as well. Because hey, you've got a whole new world that's following you out there. So that's a big positive. And you know, I think one's an interesting promotion. Obviously, they were on TNT. I know your debut was supposed to be on that TNT card, which is unfortunate that didn't happen. But I mean, they're still, I guess, in contract negotiations. But you know, one looks like they're looking for a new, bigger platform in the US and North America. So that seems like a big positive for you, and got to get you a little bit excited as you know, this year goes on.
Well, I'm hoping that they get some fights in North America, so I don't have to travel 24 hours to fly over to Asia. But you know, I wouldn't mind flying just a simple 4 or 5 hour flight.
Well, you know what? There are some commissions in the States that have now those one rules. I know Colorado is one of them. So hopefully they can have an event out in the States, and then you know, Colorado from BC isn't that bad compared to Singapore.
No. Oh, exactly. Was that like a 5 hour flight, maybe?
I think so. Something along those lines.
Yeah,
you technically could even drive.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, no, it's good.
Well,
the only thing I'm hoping is,
go ahead.
I'm hoping
Justin.
one championship. I'm hoping they get a video game going. I need to get a few fights in so I can become a character. That's another life goal of mine, is to be a character in a video game. So come on, one, let's make it happen.
Yeah, let's hopefully that they can get one. I know that when they were on TNT, their lead-in was AEW wrestling, and they have all these video games and mobile games going on. So I know AEW helped with that. And as well, we know, Justin, from our chats, you're a big wrestling fan, or were at least a big wrestling fan. Have you seen any of the AEW product? I mean, it's kind of really taken off since we last spoke at the beginning of last year.
I have watched a bit of it, not a lot, but I do like the competition that they give the WWE and the direction they've been going. It seems a bit more old school, kind of like more attitude era type wrestling than the PG era of WWE. And I don't know, I have a hard time watching WWE because of
that. I think a lot of people have a hard time watching WWE right now. But yeah, it's nice to see another, you know, someone out there kind of pushing world wrestling entertainment right now.
Competition's good, right?
Yeah, I mean, we grew up with it with WCW. Now, hopefully, AEW can be that.
For sure.
And one, I guess, is trying to eventually push the UFC and things like that. So, thanks for your time. Why don't we plug, you know, your social media, especially that verified Instagram account right now?
Yeah, look at me, D Joynson. I don't know, Instagram. You just search me, Dustin Joynson. I don't know. But I would like to thank my few sponsors: Spitfire Grill, you know, Universal Supplements, and JRP Submit Finishing, and my team, TFA and Hoodbridge Jiu-Jitsu. All
right, Dustin. Well, thank you for your time. Always a pleasure chatting with you, and best of luck on February the 11th as you once again make the trip out to the lovely country of Singapore and go out there and, you know, have another fight there with one.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you, Dustin, and best of luck.
Okay, peace.